I don't know if I'm just getting older, if I was born without the artistic sensitivity gene, or if I've simply committed the unpardonable sin of believing that talent should be obvious before you have to read the gallery pamphlet. I've spent a good while staring at a few works of so-called modern or abstract art, the likes of Ludwig Sander, Jackson Pollock, and their peers, and I've arrived at an uncomfortable conclusion. Perhaps the real artist isn't the one who paints the canvas, but the one who manages to sell the explanation. Because let's be honest, if a single line, a paint splatter, or an almost blank canvas can fetch astronomical prices and bring people to tears of deep emotion, I'm starting to suspect that the least important brush in this whole story is the one dipped in paint. The truly miraculous brush is the one painting the narrative. As an armchair sociologist and pajama philosopher, I find that the most fascinating thing here isn't even the artwork itself, it's the spectacle surrounding it. There's always someone who appears with near religious solemnity, ready to explain that a particular smudge represents the existential fracture of the individual standing before the post-capitalist void. Silly me, I just saw a smudge. My subconscious must still be stubbornly insisting on telling the difference between artistic inspiration and a household accident. And that's when the miracle finally hit me. Art is no longer about moving people. It's about intimidating them. It doesn't matter what you actually see. What matters is that you don't dare speak it out loud. Because nowadays, it seems far more sophisticated to fake a divine epiphany in front of a blank canvas than to admit, with absolute calm, I have no idea what on earth I'm looking at. I'm not criticizing anyone who genuinely enjoys this kind of art. Quite the opposite. I deeply admire their ability to find oceans of meaning where I barely see a bucket of paint with an overabundance of optimism. So today, I am officially giving up the act. I hereby declare myself an ignoramus when it comes to modern art. And curiously enough, ever since I stopped pretending to understand the incomprehensible, I've begun to suspect that the ultimate act of rebellion isn't applauding just anything. It's having the nerve to ask, with all the politeness in the world, what if the emperor isn't just naked, but charged millions for the suit? I think that final punchline really elevates the piece, leaning into the classic metaphor of the emperor's new clothes. It doesn't insult anyone, but it leaves the reader with a slight smile and an uncomfortable question. How often do we admire something because it truly moves us? And how often because we're terrified of looking ignorant if we say otherwise? That kind of irony always sticks around much longer than a blunt critique.